Hi guys, this is Vineet, and in this video we will discuss about the SQL Server 2016 Evaluation Edition installation. So in this video we will tell about how can you install SQL Server 2016 on a virtual machine. So in my prior videos I had created one of the virtual machines for the installation of this database. So let's go to VMware Workstation 15 player. So it's opened, and let's open up DB machine, which is basically a server 2012 Windows machine. And we had discussed about how to install this operating system Windows Server 2012 in one of our previous videos. And in this video we'll just talk about how can you install SQL Server 2016 on top of it. So let's wait for this VM to boot up and start. I think it's about to come up. Let's see. So yeah, we are inside the VM. So let's log into it. We are using administrator account for the installation. Alright, so in this video we will be installing SQL Server 2016 edition. So I had already downloaded the evaluation version ISO for SQL Server 2016, and let me show you how you can download it. So you need to type Microsoft SQL Server 2016 ISO. So you need to go to the Microsoft link, the first one, the evaluate SQL Server 2016 one. So this will open up a page for you where you can download SQL Server 2016 edition with Service Pack 2. It's a 180 days evaluation edition, and you can download this executable file. It will help you in fetching out the ISO file for this. For this video I have already downloaded this file. You may download this file by clicking on the continue button. So let's minimize this and let's close up the server manager, and I need to mount that ISO file with my virtual machine. So I need to go to player, manage menu, and to the virtual machine settings, and I need to go to the CD DVD section, and I need to pick up the ISO image. So I need to click on browse, and I need to go to the SQL Server 2016 SP2 ISO. I need to mount this ISO. Click OK, and after you mount the ISO you can open up Windows Explorer, and you can open up the C drive, and there's a setup program inside that, so you need to run that program. Let's wait for it to launch. Alright, we are inside the wizard for SQL Server Installation Center, and we don't want to do the planning right now. We are just going ahead with the installation, and what we need to install is a new SQL Server standalone installation. We will go with the first option. Click on this and it will launch the SQL Server 2016 installation. Alright, so we are installing the evaluation edition of SQL Server here. Click on next, and you can accept the license agreement. You may go through it, read through it, and after that you can click on I accept the license agreement and click on next. It is doing some checks and it took me to the next screen, Windows Update. We are checking for updates here. Our machine is connected to the internet, so we are checking for updates. So let's wait for it to scan for the product updates. So I think it is almost done. Alright, right now it is showing us the warning for the Windows firewall, but I think we are fine because this is a standalone server and does not have to communicate with any other SQL Server machines. So click on next and it will show you the next screen where you can select the features you want to install. So we would like to install database engine services. We don't want SQL Server application, R services, full text, data quality services, poly-based query services, analysis services, reporting services as of yet. And there are some shared features as well. And for the moment we don't want any of those. And the installation root directory of the currently we are installing the first installation of SQL Server so on this machine. So which will be a default instance, and the instance root directory for installation is program files Microsoft SQL Server. And yeah, I think we are fine here and click on next. Let's wait for it to give us the next screen. So yeah, we are currently installing the default instance of SQL Server, and we can also do a named instance installation. Basically we chose this option to run multiple instances of SQL Server on the same machine, but in this machine we only just want one installation and will not be managing multiple instances, so for our purpose default instance is fine. And instance ID is basically the instance name, which is by default for default instances MS SQL Server. And let's click on next. Next section is for the server configuration, so let's see what options does it give to us. So it is showing us some of the service accounts like SQL Server Agent, SQL Server Database Engine, SQL Server Browser. Right now these services are running under these accounts. So for example, SQL Server Agent service is running and under anti-server SQL Server Agent account. The SQL Server Database Engine is running anti-service under anti-service MS SQL Server account, and the SQL Browser is running anti-authority local system. And currently this is disabled. The SQL Server Agent startup type is normal, only the automatic type is set for SQL Server Database Engine. These are the default account which SQL Server chooses during the installation, but you may change it if you like for the security purpose. You need to click on browse and specify the accounts, and after that you need to specify the password for those accounts. For our purpose we are just keeping them to default because this video is for educational purpose only. Let's click on next. And we are choosing the authentication mode as Windows authentication mode, and this mode your Windows credentials are used to log into SQL Server. We can keep SQL Server to mixed mode as well, where both Windows authentication and SQL Server authentication can be used, but for our purpose we are just using Windows authentication mode, and for that we need to use the current logged in user, which is administrator. So we have just clicked on add current user. Let's see what it adds. Okay, so it has added the administrator account on this local machine. This is the machine name, and click on next. So in the third last screen it is giving us the summary, what our options we had chosen on the various screens, and it is also creating a configuration file for this options. And this configuration files can be used, the configuration file.ini can be used for the later installation of SQL Server 2016 with the same set of option we have chosen in this visit. So for now, let's click on install to begin the installation of SQL Server. So right now we can see that it has started installing SQL Server, and it will complete this installation maybe in next 5 minutes. So let me pause this video and I'll get back to you once the installation is done. So guys, we are done with the installation and it is asking us for a restart. So I'm clicking on OK to restart the system. So right now SQL Server 2016 is wrapping up its current operation and we are done. We can click on close and it is about to restart this Windows machine, or else we can go ahead and restart it manually. That was just the message. So I'm doing a restart. Can be other unplanned restart. Continue. So right now our virtual machine is restarting. So let me pause this video once this reboots and come back up. Thank you. So guys, we are back and I'm currently logging into my system, and let's put the password in, and we are inside the system. So SQL Server is installed, and the another piece of software that we'll need is SQL Server Management Studio, which is the graphical user interface to access various databases inside the SQL Server. So by default, with the installation of SQL Server 2016, it does not get installed, and I'm currently trying to launch setup for SQL Server to see if there is a place to install SQL Server Management Studio. So I have just launched the setup. So in the installation section, if I go to that, there's an option to install SQL Server Management Tools. So this includes the link to install SQL Server Management Studio as well. So let me click on this. It takes me to the website from where I can download and install SQL Server Management Studio. Let's see what page does it open. Okay, it's giving me all sort of, let me add these to see if this page opens up. Let me add all these URLs. Let me close this warnings, and I don't want to use recommended settings. So on this web page, it is giving me option to download SQL Server Management Studio or SSMS. So let me click on this link and it will download SQL Server Management Studio for us. Let me add the download link in my trusted sites, and it will allow us to download now. Let me click on the link again to see if it starts. Okay, it is asking me to save this particular file, so let me save it on the desktop for the time being. So right now it's downloading SQL Server Management Studio setup on the desktop, and let's wait for download to finish. 1 minute is remaining. Let me come back once this download is complete, and we'll start off with the installation of SQL Server Management Studio. So yeah guys, download is completed. Let me minimize this page to see. Yeah, SSMS setup is there. So let me close off Internet Explorer and launch the setup for SSMS. The wizard will launch in a while. Okay guys, the SQL Server Management Studio installation is just launched. By default it installs the SQL Server in C drive program file x86 Microsoft SQL Server Management Studio 18. Let me click on install, and it has started the installation. Let me pause this video for a minute. I will be back. It is still going through the installation, installing Microsoft.NET Framework 4.7.2. Overall progress is like 20%, or maybe you can say 15% complete. I'll get back once this is over. Thank you. It's still going through the installation, almost like 60% complete, and right now it's installing Microsoft Visual Studio Tools for Applications 2017, and it will be done with the installation pretty soon. So I think it's about to get over. Let's wait for a minute. So guys, the installation is finished and it requires a restart, so I'm going ahead and restarting this virtual machine. Let's wait for it to come back. Machine is rebooted and it's about to come back. It will show us UI in a while, the Windows UI. Okay, it is making Windows ready. Okay, so guys, we are back, and let me log into this system quickly. And we have just finished with the installation of SQL Server Management Studio. Prior to that, we have installed SQL Server on this machine. And let me search for SQL Server Management Studio. So this is the icon. Let me right click on it and pin it to the taskbar, because we don't want to go every time here and type the full name of this utility for it to come up. So I pinned it to the taskbar, and we can see this icon over here. Let's launch this. So this is the UI for SQL Server, and through this UI we can create databases, manage various databases, and let me give you a little bit introduction of this UI. In our next video we will be installing Northwind database, which is a sample database from Microsoft, and throughout our video series we will be working on this database Northwind. And first let me show you the location where databases gets installed. So I'm just waiting for SQL Server Management Studio to launch up. It will be up in a while. Okay, so this is the interface for SQL Server Management Studio. Right now it is asking us to log on into the machine, and by default it is showing us the name of our local machine, and we are using Windows authentication to log on. So just click on connect. It will log you on into SQL Server. So let me show you the section where user databases gets created. So on the left hand side on this pane we see a databases section. So whatever databases you create comes under these databases section, this node, databases node. So in our next video we will be installing or putting Notfin database inside the SQL Server, and that database will come inside under the databases section. So let me wrap up this video, and I thank you guys for watching this video. Please do subscribe to my channel and like this video if you like it. Thank you.